Hi there, my name is Jen. Welcome to Pilates in a Flash. This is your 30-minute intense Pilates workout focusing on abs, glutes, and thighs. Today, you're going to need 2 hand weights or 2 cans, okay? So you can go to your pantry and get 2 cans of beans or 2 cans of coconut milk, whatever you can find, and a nice light pillow. Make sure your space is clear of anything so that it is safe, and always take the video at your own pace. If you need to modify or you need to hit pause, please do so. Okay, today we're going to start on our hands and knees. So I'm going to move the pillow and the cans away. Hands and knees to start. You're just going to shift your weight back behind you, keeping your tailbone back. Breathe in. Shift forward. Shift the weight back. Don't tuck the tailbone under. And shift the weight forward slowly. Okay? Moving the shoulders just above the fingertips, starting to feel the abdominals engaged, shoulders away from the ears. And shift the weight back. We're just sinking the thigh bone a little bit deeper into the hip socket with some good hip flexion here. Okay? We're going to go for 3. Try to pull the breastbone away from the floor, but don't change the shape of the low back. 2. Slowly drift over the fingertips. 1 more. Excellent. We're going to pause on our hands and knees. We're going to do a little circling of our rib cage. So I'm going to think about dropping my rib cage down towards the ground, moving it over to the left, picking it up and moving it to the right, then moving it back down towards the ground. So I'm thinking about just moving and isolating my rib cage in a little bit of a circle, or maybe an oblong shape, maybe a triangle, whatever your rib cage can do. And then I'm going to stop in the center and try to do it in reverse, which might be easier or harder. Less of a circle, more of a rectangle. That's okay. Do what you can to move that rib cage only, being mindful that we're not tucking the tailbone or losing the little curve in our low back, okay? Letting the rib cage come down, up, and fill out between the shoulder blades, then down, back, and around. Good. I'm going to pause here and lift my rib cage away from the floor and then let it go down. Lift it away from the floor and let it go down. Feeling for movement in my shoulder blades. So my shoulder blades wrap around the ribs. Okay, feeling some work in through my pecs, so the front of the body, into the chest, maybe some bicep. Okay. And I'm thinking more along the lines of feeling for work underneath the arm bone. Okay, ribs underneath the arm bone, helping me fill out the space between my shoulder blades as I let my ribs come down and pull my ribs up towards the ceiling. Again, my low back doesn't change shape. My tailbone stays out behind me. Good. We're going to do 2 more. We're going to do 1 more. Good. Send the bum back towards the hips. Okay, give those hands a little bit of a shake. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of tricep work here. So I'm going to send the hips back. I need my arms strong today because we've got a lot of lateral bending, which is good for our obliques. My tops of feet are on the ground, and I'm just going to lower down onto my forearms and come on up. So I'm doing a little tricep press, and I'm straightening the arms on the way up, squeezing from the backs of the arms, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. My tailbone, again, is not tucked under. I've got a little curve in my low back, and I'm thinking about keeping I'm keeping my eyes kind of between my hands. So I'm going to shift forward and make it a little bit harder by bringing my face kind of between my hands. Okay? The harder version of this is coming all the way forward a little bit more and having my eyes kind of in line with my fingertips. Okay? Tipping a little bit forward on the knees, letting the feet lift a little bit is fine. Squeezing the back of the arms, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And now think about lifting the breastbone away from the floor. So I'm not leading with my chest down towards the floor. Between my shoulder blades is filled out. We keep that filled out so my shoulder blades are wrapped around my rib cage, okay? So we're going to go for 5. When you need it harder, lean forward. 4. Good. Squeeze back arm. 3. Good. 2. Excellent. 1. Perfect. Pause right here. I'm going to reach my left arm out. Okay, bring it up into a T, and I'm going to feed it underneath my right arm, rotating my rib cage. Whoops, I'm getting a little bit sloppy. Lift my rib cage up, and then hand comes up towards the ceiling. Eyes follow. So just a gentle rotation of that rib cage. Hips and knees stay nice and still. Okay? Shoulders away from the ears. Last one. Feed the arm under. Let the breastbone follow the arm. And then the arm comes out into that T and up towards the ceiling. Breastbone follows. Good. Right arm starts in that T position. Feed it underneath. Okay? Bring the breastbone along with the arm up towards the ceiling, but the hips and knees don't move. Pull the ribs away from the floor so you're not sinking down into the shoulder socket. Okay? Breathing in, you're going to do 2 more. You're going to do 1 more. Excellent. Good. Okay, we're going to swing our legs around. Sitting up nice and tall. Putting the pillow between our thighs, flexing the feet. I'm going to do a half roll back so my arms are out in front, shoulders away from the ears. Okay, sit up. Nice tall spine from the crown of the head. Tuck the tailbone under and start to curl down as you go back. So I'm thinking about articulating my spine down towards the floor, even if it doesn't touch the floor, as I go backwards until I get to that point where I'm feeling my abdominals engage and I'm like a shallow C position. Pulling my belly button down towards my spine. In as I come up from the crown of the head. Okay, stacking my spine. Okay, 2 more. Tuck under, slowly go back. Keep that tuck as you articulate your way down. Pause. Make a nice shallow C position and then come back up. Good. 1 more. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathe into the back of the ribs. Your chest is not pushed forward, making that shallow C position. Now we pause back here. Both arms come up a little and then both arms come down. Both arms come up and then both arms come down. Keep flexing the feet. Squeeze the pillow a little bit. Upper inner thighs are working. Low belly pulling in. Belly button towards the spine for 3, for 2, for 1. Shoulders stay down as the arm bones lift up. Good. Excellent. Come back up. Grabbing your weights. Okay. Sitting up nice and tall. And I'm actually going to put my palms towards the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to tuck my tailbone under and I'm going to roll or curl back and down. Okay. So I'm just going to shuffle my heels in. Squeeze the pillow. Make sure you're in a nice shallow C position. And I'm just going to do a really gentle bicep curl. Okay. Shoulders away from the ears. And now my elbows are lifted, so my arm bones are in line with my shoulders. Good. Pulling the chin back, tucking it in just a little bit so the back of the neck is not on fire. We don't want that. We're going to go for 5, for 4, for 3. Squeeze the pillow. 2, flex the feet. Keep pulling the belly button in. 1, sit back up. Excellent. Good. Okay, put your weights away. We're going to slowly curl down. My legs are going to be out in front, okay? And I'm going to tuck the tailbone under, and I'm going to curl down, pulling my belly button in really hard to protect the spine, right? And making sure I'm landing the spine down on the mat piece by piece by piece. Excellent. Okay, so our arms are nice and warmed up. Our core is warmed up. We're going to go to hamstrings and glutes. So pushing into our feet, lifting our pelvis straight up towards the ceiling, then down. Okay, pushing into our feet, lifting up, and then coming on down. We think pulling low belly in, belly button towards the spine as we move the pelvis straight up and then come on down. We're going to keep going here. I want you to feel for those hamstrings as you push your feet hard into the mat. And those glutes squeeze together as you lift that pelvis up towards the ceiling. We don't tuck our tailbone under. It's a neutral bridge. We're lifting straight up and straight down. Good. For 5, for 4, good. For 3, 2, 1. Okay, from here, hold up in that bridge position. I want you to push the backs of the arms down into the mat. Okay, hands down into the mat. But I don't want you to raise your chest. So keep your chest down and breastbone down. Backs of shoulders are being pushed into the mat as well. And you're going to come up to that position. You're going to push into your left foot, right shoulder. And you're going to float your right leg up and then lower it on down. You're going to push into your right foot, left shoulder, and float your left leg up
and then lower it on down. Good. We're going to continue for 4. We're going to continue for 3. Strong arms. Belly button towards the spine. 2. Good. And then 1 more. Push into right foot, left shoulder, left leg lifts up. Good. From here, you're going to lift that right leg up, push into left foot, right shoulder, right leg comes up. You're going to tap your bum down, and you're going to slowly lift the pelvis back up. You're going to slowly tap the bum down and lift the pelvis up. Tap down and lift up for 5, for 4, left foot, right shoulder, arms are on, 3, good, 2, 1, switch, right foot down, pushes into the mat, left shoulder heavy, left leg up, lower down, and lift up. As you lift up, that pelvis stays fairly level and neutral. We don't scoop to lift. Arms are on, triceps strong, push into the mat. Okay, we're gonna go for 5. We're gonna go for 4, push into the right foot, left shoulder, 3, bum cheeks still squeezed together, 2, lower down, 1 more, lower down and up. Excellent, bring those legs down. Good. From here, okay, we're gonna curl back up so our legs come out long in front of us. Arms come up, we're gonna nod the chin and we're gonna do a small little kind of curl to come up, and then we're gonna continue all the way back up to seated position. Woo, good. Okay. One more time for these half curl backs, pillow between the inner thighs, sit up nice and tall. This time you're going to do it with a nice tall spine. Cross the arms, cross the chest, shoulders away from the ears. You're going to squeeze the pillow, flex the feet, pull the belly button in. You're going to think of the upper body as one piece, and you're going to hinge back to an angle where you feel your abdominals engage, and you're going to keep that little curve in the low back as you do it, okay? And then you're going to come back up. Pull the belly button in, flex the feet, squeeze the pillow, hinge back, and then come back up. Good. One more time. Squeeze the pillow, flex the feet, belly button in, shoulders away from the ears, hinge back, and pause. We're going to twist from one side, then to the other. Now, I want you to push into the opposite sit bone. When you go left, you get heavy in the right sit bone. When you go right, you get heavy in the left, okay? Anchoring down through that opposite side of pelvis, pulling the belly button in, keeping a little curve in the low back. Hips, knees, and thigh bones do not move. It's just the rib cage moving. Keep pulling in as you twist for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Up you come. Good job. Okay, swing those legs around. Coming on to kneeling position, okay? So from here, I'm going to tuck my toes underneath me and come up onto my balls of feet, okay? I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to untuck my tailbone. So making sure I'm not sitting tucked under. Push my pubic bone back behind me. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe in and sit and come up to tall kneeling. Squeeze the thighs, squeeze the bum cheeks towards each other, and then come on down. Breathe in. Come up to tall kneeling. So coming up to tall kneeling is very much the exact same thing we did with bridge on our back, right? So we're bringing our hips into hip flexion, right? And then hip extension. Breathing in, bum cheeks towards each other, not under. What I want you to feel for is hamstring engagement. So back of thighs squeezing to help bring that pelvis forward, okay? I'm going to drop down onto the tops of feet now. So tops of feet, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to come on up, push the tops of feet and calves into the mat, and then lower on down, but my tailbone doesn't tuck, so I come down on an angle. We do it again for 3, for 2, for 1. Good. Okay, we're going to add some arms. We're going to have palms, watch the weights. Palms go back behind us. Okay, so we're going to come down, and as we come up, we're going to slowly come up, and I'm going to push the palms of my hands behind me as I squeeze my bum cheeks towards each other. So I'm doing the shoulder extension, and then the arms come forward. As I come up, I move my arms back behind me. Now, I do not move my chest forward. My chest doesn't pop. I squeeze my arm bones towards my body as if I had something in my armpits. I'm squeezing my armpits okay, as I slide my arm bones back in space. Push into your calves and the tops of feet to come up, bum cheeks towards each other, not under. Feeling for hamstrings, glutes, back of arm, back of shoulder, and armpit for 3, for 2, for 1. Excellent. We're going to add the weights. If the weights are too much, just don't use them, okay? So we're going to add the weights. We're going to come on up, squeeze our bum, arms go back in space. Because I have the weights, I have to be very careful that I don't do this, right? My chest doesn't come forward. I don't pinch my shoulder blades on my back. I extend my arms back up towards the ceiling, and then I come down. Good. For 5. For 4, don't squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeeze the arm bones towards the body. Good. 3, bum cheeks towards each other. 2, 1 more. Down and up. Low belly in. I forgot to mention. Good. Okay. From here, we're going to stay in this kneeling position. Right arm comes up towards the ceiling, and we bend over. Okay. Arm comes down. Left arm comes up towards the ceiling. Over we go. Right arm comes up. And left arm comes up. Breathe in, shoulders down. Good. Excellent. Okay, from here we're going to come onto our left forearm. I'm going to move the weights out of the way, the pillow off to the side. Okay, I'm going to do side bridge, okay? Tailbones back out behind me, pubic bones push back behind me. It's exactly kind of like what we just did kneeling and in our bridge position, but now we're going to work more shoulder and more side of our body, side body here, okay? We engage the side oblique or lower side by pushing hard into our bottom leg, and we're going to lift up into this modified side bridge, right? Modified meaning that our knees are bent and down. We're going to do 3 just like this. 3, shoulders away from the ears, low belly in. 2, lift on up. 1 more, lift on up. Excellent. I'm going to extend the top leg, okay? Making it a bit harder, taking my weight with me, okay? So I'm going to push into the side of that top foot and the bottom leg as I come up, and I'm going to lift my weight up, and then I'm going to come on down, okay? 2 more, push into the bottom leg, top leg is strong. Find the bottom shin before you even lift the hip up, okay? Now we hold it on up, lift on up, bottom leg is long. I'm going to feed the weight underneath, moving just my rib cage, and then I'm going to bring the weight back, feed the weight underneath. My rib cage moves, my hips don't move too much. Legs are strong, okay? Push into that bottom leg, shoulders away from the ears. 1 more, feed, breastbone follows. Excellent. Good. Lower on down. Good. Coming back onto our knees. Okay. Crossing our arms across the chest. Do a little rotation. Very gentle from the left to the right. Shoulders are down. The more you can breathe backwards into your ribs or left and right, the better. Okay. We'll expand our rib cage. Good. Okay. From here, grab the weights. Nice tall kneeling position again. Okay. It's hard on the knees. Double up the mat. Okay. So that your knees have a little more support. Now, in this position, we already know how to get there. Our bum is back and not tucked under. So we come up by pushing into our shins and tops of feet, squeezing our bum cheeks together so that our hamstrings are on. We're not tucked under and just kind of hanging out here, okay? As horrible as that probably looked. We want to think bum cheeks together, and thigh bones are being pulled back behind us by our hamstrings, okay? From here, we're going to do a little side bend. So head, top of head, crown of head leads as we tap the fingers towards the can and then back up, okay? We try to find the can at the, there it is. The can's too far away. You can always adjust. Where's that can? There it is. Okay, we're going to go over and back up. Now, I need you to think on the way back up, it's the outside waistline that picks you back up. You lean over with control. You don't smush the bottom waist too much. And then on the way back up, you pull the belly button in and you pull yourself back up from that outside waist, okay? For 3, belly button in, squeeze the glutes, hamstrings on. 2, tip over, find the can. 1 more. tip over, come back up. Good. Excellent. Obliques on the opposite side. Well, it's all pretty much obliques today, but in the side bridge position, okay? So double up the mat if you need to, starting with bent knees, flexed feet. Elbow underneath the shoulder, shoulder away from the ear. Okay, move the breastbone back in space. I like to just keep it out like this. Let's try to move it back so that my back and my spine is happy. Okay, I'm gonna push into that bottom leg. I'm gonna lift on up. Bum cheeks squeeze together and lower on down. Push into that bottom leg, lift on up, shoulders away from the ears and lower on down. One more, bottom leg, okay? Shoulder isn't overwhelmed with this position because you've got lots of support going on. Down you go. Pull the belly button in, make sure the tailbone's out back behind you. Extend the top leg, oops, grab that can, okay? Now push into that bottom leg outside of the foot, pause. Come back down, okay? Shoulders away from the ears, soften the chest, breathe in, push into bottom leg. Both legs are strong. Now feed that weight underneath, moving through the breastbone. Feed the weight underneath, moving through the breastbone. So just the rib cage rotates. It's a little half rotation, right? One direction. One more time. Push into the bottom leg, shoulders away from the ears, arm goes up, and then come on down. Good. Okie dokie. So from there, back to side bending, making it a lower point. Okie dokie. So we bum goes back, you come up, squeeze bum cheeks together, thighs aren't really working too hard. It's hamstrings and it's glutes. Now, I'm going to tip over, pull my belly in, think nice, tall, long spine. Try to reach down for that can that's a little bit lower. Where is it? There it is. I have to look. Okay? And then from the side body, come back up, right? One more time to this direction. Lean over, belly button in, okay? Reaching for the can, shoulders away from the ears. Watch the breastbone and come back up. Okay? Opposite side. Bum cheeks together, hamstrings on, push through the calves or the shins and the tops of feet, lean over and come back up. You might not be able to tap the can in the low position. Side body works to bring you back up. Good. Excellent. Okay. From here, we're going to lay down on our left side. Both legs are long, okay? Pubic bone's back behind you. Nice big deep breath in. Top arm is right in front, shoulders away from the ears. You're gonna start by lifting and lowering that top leg and noticing that the hips stay stacked and they don't move. So that waist is lifted off the mat. And we're gonna lift it up and down for about 4 more. Good. 3. The quads are on to make the legs nice and long. 2, 1. Hold it up, float it forward a little bit, and float it back a little bit. Float it forward a little bit, and float it back. Belly button towards the spine. Upper body doesn't move an inch or a millimeter. 1 more. Hamstring glute to pull the leg back. Good. Pause here. You're going to circle down and around. Okay, and you come forward, down, back, and up. Forward, down, back, and up. Bottom leg is strong for 2 more. 1 more. Opposite direction. Sweep forward, back, and around. Sweep forward, back, and around. 1 more time. Forward, back, and around. Excellent. Good. Bend the knees. Come back up. So now we do it again only from our side bent position, okay? So feet are flat on the mat, tailbone untucked. Come on up by squeezing your glutes and hamstrings, okay? If you need the pillow, in the past, I've shown that you can put your hand on the pillow or a prop that's a little bit higher than the mat. Why? So we can keep both waistlines long. So if you find that you're slumped on one side, and you need a little prop to bring you up so that both waistlines stay long, use it. No problem, okay? So I'm going to hike my pants up here. There we go. I'm going to use a pillow And I'm gonna just tip over, belly button in, obliques are on, okay? Take the opposite leg out. So my right leg is out, my left hand is down. Pause. Okay, what I'm looking for is the left knee underneath the left hip. Yep, I'm looking for a level pelvis. That means my bum cheeks actually have to squeeze together so that I'm not back here. So my pubic bone and my bum is not back behind me. So that everything is lined up and straight, okay? That thigh bone is kind of, could be better, but a little more underneath that hip. Now we start to lift and lower. Top leg lifts and lower. Top leg lifts and lower. And it's the thigh bone that lifts. Top arm can come up towards the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears. Soften the breastbone, squeeze the bum cheeks together. And the knee and the toe face me. They don't face the ceiling. Okay? We're going to lift and lower for 5, 4, squeeze the bum cheeks, 3, there we go. Okay, 2, keep holding the bum cheeks towards each other. 1, hold it up. Kick the leg forward, kick the leg back, hamstring glute. Kick the leg forward, kick the leg back, kick the leg forward, kick the leg back, but we're not moving through our pelvis. So we're not going like this, we're not pumping, okay? Pelvis stays still as the leg bone moves. Good, we're gonna do a little circle. We're gonna circle the leg up, back and around. Back up, down and around. Good. One more little circle. Excellent. Opposite direction. Good for 2, for 1. Excellent. Come on down. Let's do the opposite side. So I'm going to move the pillow up there. Move the weights out of the way. Long legs. Top arm is in front, up on the tips of the fingers. Lift and lower that top leg. It should already be shaking. Guess what? Because it was working to support you in that last pose. Oh my. Breathe in and out. In and out. Okay, hold the leg up. Bottom leg is strong, low belly in. Lift the oblique off the mat. Float the leg forward and back, really small, so that you can notice and feel any movement in your pelvis or hips. Right? Your tailbone doesn't move back behind you. The little curve in your low back doesn't change. Okay, so think about it. Feel for it. And now we're going to start to circle. Sweep down, up, back, and around. And the circle is the thigh bone moving in the hip socket. Look at it shake. I can feel it. I don't know if you can see it. One more direction. Okay, opposite direction. One more. Let's do 3 here. 3. 2, bottom leg is strong. 1. Excellent. Okay, lower it down. Bend the knees. Come back up. Find that pillow. Last move, and we're all done, guys. Okay, so tops of feet are on the ground. Tailbones out back behind you. Breathe in and bring yourself up with a little curve in your low back. Pull the bum cheeks towards each other. Hamstrings are on. Then you tip over and you find the pillow as you extend the left leg. Okay, if the pillow is enough space for you to have 2 waistlines that are relatively even, that's great. I'm going to move the pillow out so I come a little bit longer. Good, shoulders away from the ears. Bottom leg, oops, mine's on an angle. There, bottom leg is stacked up underneath the hip. So making sure it's stacked and making sure that the pelvis is somewhat moving forward by squeezing your bum cheeks together, okay? So bum cheeks squeeze together, there we go. Shoulders away from the ears. Lift and lower that leg, that left leg. Hips do not move, bum cheeks squeeze together, low belly in. Belly button towards the spine, arm can come up. Good. We're gonna go for 5, 4, 3, oh my, 2, okay, bum cheeks, 1, don't forget about that bottom leg, lift, float it forward, float it back, hamstring glute, squeeze to help move that thigh bone backwards. Knee doesn't open up towards the ceiling, mine wants to, don't let it. We're gonna circle after this one, circle for 3, 2, oh my, 1, opposite direction, circle that leg, nothing moves. Hips don't move. Pull the belly in. 1 more circle. Woo. Okay, come on down. Excellent. I'm going to push back into child's pose. Okay, arms are going to go overhead. Head comes down to the mat. Breathe in and out. Good.
Rising up, doing cat-cow one more time. So curling to come up, pulling the belly button towards the spine, and then extending, tailbone out, back behind you. One more time. Coming onto your knees. This was fairly challenging for our wrists, so I want you to just give your wrists and your arms a big shake. The arms actually help relax the wrists, okay? So moving the arm bones, giving them a little bit of a shake. You're going to take your arms, you're going to circle your wrists, okay? Just circle them down, up, back, and around. The forearm's going to move a little, that's fine. Sweeping them, sweep, sweep, sweep. You can cup the hands, and then you're going to go the opposite direction, which is harder than it looks. Good. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Excellent. I hope you felt your obliques today and some glutes. I will see you next week. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.